What is up, students? This video project that we're working on right now, the cell phone media project, this is how it works. You'll watch all the videos in classwork. It's 4 videos, 3 called Intelligent Designs. Those 3 videos were produced using iPhones. I believe it's iPhone 5s and iPhone 6s. You will use the information as a guide to produce your first film for this class. You will produce a paper based on the information in those videos as inspiration to your first video. You use it as an example, basically, in English. And then you would turn it in by Wednesday night, tomorrow night. All the details, as I say, are in classroom. So what does this mean, Mr. Davis? What am I writing on? This is what you're writing on. Castroville. I don't know if you live in Castroville, whatever city you're living in. If you live in Mico, Castroville, Daly, San Antonio, wherever you live, the easiest way to do this is to do a documentary on the town you live in. So, Davis, where do I get this information from? You go to the website for City Hall. That would tell you how they founded the town, what is important in the town. Castroville, what is Castroville? Who is Castor? Is there a Castor? That is what your documentary is about. All this would be revealed in the story that you create. Remember, I'm not making this. You're making this. From this paper, are you making a video? How I want to say this. No and yes. Right now, you are not making a video. You are doing the legwork. You are doing what is called pre-production for your video. You're finding out all the information that you need to address inside your video. The video will be an actual project that we're actually going to conduct down the road, which will be another gradable project. We're getting minimum 2 grades out of this video. One is the writing aspect, pre-production. Then, actually you're gonna get 3. And then you're gonna have actual production, making the video. Then the final part of this is post-production, editing this to make one cohesive project. That is what you're doing. Then once we get to that part, then we're gonna flip over to graphic design part of it. Because if you make a video, you have to sell your video. That is what graphic design is about. Graphic design is to making your posters, the paperwork, all the media to make money on your video project. Every one of my classes are blended. Every one of my classes have students that are in animation, graphic design, video production. You may be in a class that may say graphic design, but that is not entirely true. The class you're in may actually be an animation class, but your paperwork says you're graphic design students. I have to satisfy the requirement for 3 different classes in every period that I have. How do I do that? I satisfy it by discussing animation, by discussing video, by discussing graphic design. That is why every video you produce, you will make a poster, you will make a commercial for your video. That satisfies my requirement to talk about graphic design. AV, the video itself is AV. At the beginning of your videos, you will have an animation that you're gonna have to create because I'm gonna teach you how to create that. That satisfies the animation portion of your video. Right now, this project does not require you to make a video. Down the road, after progress reports come out, this project will require you to make a video. You're like, Davis, I don't want to do one about Castroville or whatever town I live in. I want to do one about basketball. Fine, do one about basketball. But if you talk about basketball, you better say American basketball. Because if you say the history of basketball, then you need to go back to the Aztecs. Because they were playing basketball before it was called basketball. You need to make sure your titles reflect the information in your video. Because if you give me something that says the history of basketball and you don't talk about the Mayans, the Aztecs, you just lost. Because the title of your video was a lie. You did not cover basketball. You covered American basketball. Don't take it for granted. Put it the way it should be. Mr. Davis, I want to talk about the history of ladders. Fine. Whose ladders are we talking about? American ladders, European ladders, or are we just talking about ladders? Now, if you're talking about ladders, now you have to go all the way back to the Stone Age, how they created ladders. If you want to talk about ladders built in America, the newest Little Giant ladder, then you're talking about American ladders, the history of American ladders. That is how you have to roll with this project. When you say you're going to make something, you're going to build a product, that is what your product has to be about. You are becoming content creators. You should be becoming, I can say that. You should be becoming critical of the programs that you're watching. Because if they tell you the history of sharks, if the title says the history of sharks, and they only talk about one shark, then that's a lie. It's not the history of sharks. It's a history of the bottlenose shark or the great white shark. That is what your title is saying. Your title says, today I am talking about COVID masks. Which ones? Are we talking about COVID masks the N95? Are we talking about just a homemade variety of masks? What are we talking about? You have to be specific in your title. You are creating a visual thesis of what you're working on. That is called content creation. That is what you're working for. That is what you're working toward. That is how I'm going to be grading, based on what you say in your title. Don't say the history of books if you're only going to talk about a particular aspect of books. Your title should say, I'm going to talk about the particular aspect of books, such as the history of book binding. I just wanted to let you know, just give you a heads up. Remember, this is due Wednesday, 11:59. I get a paper Thursday, 12:02. You just lost 10 points. I get a paper on Friday. You've lost more, especially if I don't get your grade in on time. Then it's a 0 because I did not get your grade in. Grades must be done this week for your progress report. This is on this side of the progress report. I need this done, and I need this done on time. Also, like it has up here, Thursday we have a quiz coming up. A quiz test, how you want to frame it. We're having a test coming up on Thursday. It's going to be on the Hess horror video. Everything that Hess discussed, you need to understand, because we're going to have that test. Do the test. Do it before the cutoff. The test is going to be posted Thursday, 11:59 Thursday night. It needs to be complete. You give it to me Friday, it's late. Satisfy the due date. Do not procrastinate on your due dates. I will punish your grade for procrastination. Crush these assignments. These are easy assignments. This, as a 2-day assignment, I'm giving you 3 days. You can do this. I'm out. Talk to you later.